I remember a time whenever I was laying on the couch completely exhausted and my body still would not let me rest. In this episode, I'm going to show you why this happens, especially when you're living with chronic illness and raising a neurodivergent child, and what actually helps your nervous system to relax. Let's get started. Welcome to Chronic Illness Moms. If you're more than just a tired mom, I'm talking trying to make it through the day without crashing by noon while raising neurodivergent kids, you're not alone. I'm Ashley, a wife, mom, and certified health coach. I have lived with autoimmune disease and flare-ups that made everyday life feel harder than it should. After years of pushing through and burning out, I learned how much stress, poor sleep, and nervous system overload were driving my symptoms. Everything changed when I started building small, realistic habits that actually supported my body instead of fighting it. In this podcast, you'll learn simple habits that help you to feel better. So pop in your earbuds and take a break from the chaos. It's you time. Hey friend, welcome back to Chronic Illness Moms. I am Ashley. I am a mom who is living with chronic illness and also raising children who are neurodivergent. And I want to say, if you are tired all of the time, but you can't actually seem to relax, then I understand you. Before we go any further, I do want to say this. If what we talk about today hits really close to home for you and you find yourself thinking, I need help applying this on my own today, like with my own body and my own life, then just know that I do offer one-on-one coaching as a way to work with moms and really tailor your healthy habits and the healthy habits that you're trying to build into your life to work specifically for you in a way that is sustainable and feasible in your everyday life. I love to help to support moms in starting to feel like themselves again, getting rid of the exhaustion, the inflammation, all of that. So if you want to learn more or you want to go and book a session, you can do that at ashleybraden.com/coaching. I will also have the link down in the show notes below. And now let's go ahead and get started talking about why you feel the way you do. Isn't that like the mystery or the big question we all want to know? Why do I feel the way that I do? I can remember nights whenever everything was quiet in the house. Maybe my husband was out hanging out with friends for the night. And so I had the kids in bed and the house all to myself, and it was finally quiet. And I am a person who, I'm a little bit of an introvert, a little bit of an extrovert, an ambivert, I guess is what they call it. And so I find that I do really love the quiet alone time by myself. It's something that I thrive on. And so I remember thinking, okay, yes, I'm going to enjoy this evening, this quiet time by myself. I'm going to rest. But what I found was instead of relaxing, I was extremely restless. My thoughts were racing. I felt like I couldn't sit down. I was exhausted, but I could not settle. And I also find if you are raising a neurodivergent child on top of that, then you probably know this feeling because your nervous system is always listening for the next sound, the next need, the next whatever is going on in your life. And I remember I used to think there was something wrong with me because I could not relax. I could not sit down and rest. But what I learned, and now what I like to teach everyone as well, is that this is not a failure on you. It's not a personal flaw with you. It is really just your body protecting itself. So let's talk about why is this really happening? What is going on that is causing it? When you live with chronic illness, your body is just constantly under stress. We've talked about this before. Just your normal daily stuff is putting such stress and strain on your body because your body is already inflamed. You're already dealing with pain, joint pain, inflammation. Maybe you have food sensitivities, food allergies, all of that stuff. You're not sleeping well. And then when you're adding in the emotional effects of really just raising a family, no matter what your family looks like, there is emotional labor in that. When you have sensory overload, whenever you aren't sleeping consistently, you're not sleeping well, maybe your sleep is unpredictable. That's something we've really been struggling with lately, is how do we function whenever our sleep is unpredictable and it is not in our control? Like the fact that it's unpredictable is not something we can control. So then what happens is your nervous system gets stuck in survival mode. And then you think, okay, great, I need rest. So the house is quiet and I'm finally going to rest and I'm going to go and lie down. And maybe your environment is quiet. And so you think, okay, but the outside is quiet, so the inside should reflect that as well. Like I should be able to regulate and to calm down because it's not like there's chaos going on around me. The problem is your body has not gotten the message that everything is safe yet. And the reality is, in order for your body to rest, it has to feel safe. And when you do have a neurodiverse household, a lot of times your nervous system just doesn't really get a chance to ever fully power down and for you to feel that safety, that you're not constantly having to look out for the next thing, the next need. So that can be a big reason why you're struggling so much to really truly rest in your home. Even if all the circumstances and environment and all that is perfect, you're still struggling to rest. Okay, so we know a big reason why you can't relax, even when you're tired, we call it wired but tired, is your stress hormones are still high. Another one is your brain is scanning for danger, so that hypervigilance. And then also your body does not trust that it is allowed to rest. It's allowed to stop. Again, it's that safety signal. It doesn't trust that things are safe enough for you to let your guard down. Now, none of this means that your body is broken or you're doing anything wrong. So let's talk about what are some things that can actually help your body to shift into that space where it can truly begin to rest. And again, this all comes back to signaling to your body that you are safe. Okay, so let's talk about 4 different ways that you can signal to your body, hey, we're safe, everything is okay. You can power down for just a little bit. The first one is going to be to give your body like a physical safe signal. So this could be that you put your hand on your chest. It could be that you're hugging a pillow. It could be that you're wrapping yourself up in a warm, tight blanket. It's kind of giving that security. Another one that I find is doing legs up the wall because, and I have actually listened to someone teach on this. The reason why it sends a safety signal to your body is because that is a very vulnerable position. And if you think about it, if you are laying down on the floor and your legs are up the wall, that is not typically a defensive position. So when you're putting yourself in that position, your body is saying, hey, if we're here, it must mean that we are safe. And so that can be a really great and simple way to do that as well. If you can also then, the second thing, pair that with slowing down your breathing. So not just the deep breaths, you do want to do the deep breathing, but also slowing down the rate. Like we're not going to be breathing rapidly. Breathing in through your nose, then a long exhale out through your mouth. And I do find that counting and lengthening your exhale, so like if we breathe in for 4, doubling your exhale, so in for a count of 4, hold for 4, and then out for 8. That can be a really good way to get in the deep breathing while also slowing down your breathing rate, which again is another signal to your body. Rapid breathing is typically when we are stressed, when we are panicked, when something is wrong, when there's danger, our breathing will increase. So if we can slow it down, we're sending that signal back, everything is safe. Another one you can do is to relax your muscles. Same thing, when you're stressed, when you think there's danger, you tense your muscles because you're ready for action. If you can drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, relax. I like to kind of relax my neck, unclench my jaw, drop my shoulders. And then also, if you notice, let your stomach, your abdomen relax. A lot of times we tense up our belly whenever we are stressed. So do all of those at the same time. And that can really send that signal of the relaxed muscles to your body. Everything is safe. Okay. And then the fourth one is going to be use your, use sensory things to calm your body, to send that physical signal to your body. This can be lower lights. It can be soft music. It can be a very soothing, familiar scent. This is why I love simmer pots and jazz piano, because it's just a great way. I use this for my kids too. Like if we're just having a day where everything is wild and everyone is just dysregulated, I will put on some relaxing jazz piano on the TV and I will put on a simmer pot, and it's just kind of a very easy, simple way to let everyone in the house kind of get that sensory input of everything is cozy and safe here and we are all good. And it's so interesting to me to see what a difference it makes in my children's behavior, especially, sometimes you think, is it just because I enjoy this? Is this why it's relaxing and helping to soothe and calm me? But with my kids, that's not the case. They don't know why I'm doing it. They don't know what's going on. So it's so interesting to see how they respond to that intentional environment as well. Okay, so I would love for you guys to pick just one of these. Either focus on giving your body that physical safe signal of wrapping up in a blanket, legs up the wall, hand to chest, something like that. Slowing your breathing, you can either use sensory input to kind of create that sense of calm, or relaxing your muscles. And then if you do one of those, I would love to hear from you. How does that help? I would love for you to do it consistently. If we can pick one of these and do it every night, making that part of your evening wind down routine can be very, very beneficial. Again, the consistency is also going to send that signal to your body that this is what we do every single night when we're getting ready for bed, which means it's time for us to start winding down to go to sleep. So if you do that, I would love to hear your experience, how that goes for you. Just pick one of these and then use it every single night. Again, take 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be anything major. Make it simple, make it easy to be consistent with. And then share with us over in the Facebook group or email me, social media, all that stuff I will have linked down in the show notes below. I love hearing from you guys. I would also love to know what you would like to know more about. What would you like to hear me speak more about? So if you want to share that with me as well, I would greatly appreciate it. Again, I will have all the ways you can reach out to me down in the show notes below. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you back next time. Hey friend, I hope you found today's episode helpful. If you did, would you take a minute to share it with another mom who's struggling with chronic symptoms? And leave a review on Apple Podcasts. It means the world to me to know this podcast is making a difference for you. All right, it's time for me to go tackle those snack requests, and remember that a short walk, even if the kids turn it into a race, still counts as self-care. Keep chasing those little wins. Even when it feels messy, you're making progress. The information shared in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your healthcare provider before making any changes to your health routine. I'm not a doctor, and this podcast is not intended to treat or diagnose any condition. You're the expert on your body. Listen to it and reach out to a trusted provider for support.